Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, welcome to this video presentation with title Unlocking Truth in Testing, a deep dive into statistic, bias, and Islamic ethics. Here, my name is Andita and today we're going to explore several key concepts in education statistics such as t-test, ANOVA, test bias, DIF, validity and reliability, and connect them with Islamic values such as justice, trust, and fairness. Okay, let's dive to introduction. Whether in research or education, we often rely on data to make decisions. But if our tests are not fair or accurate, our conclusions may be misleading or even unjust. This is why we must deeply understand how to use statistical tools and, more importantly, how to evaluate them ethically. Today, I will not only explain the technical parts but also show how Islamic values can guide us in being fair and honest in assessment and research. So, here, what we're going to cover in this session, the first one is we will explore t-test and ANOVA, which tool that help us compare group means. Then, we will discuss test bias and DIF or differential item functioning, which help us to check whether a test is fair for all. Next, we will dive into validity and reliability, essential qualities of good tests. Finally, we will reflect on Islamic values that support justice and accuracy in our work. Okay, next explanation is about what is t-test. Do you ever heard about t-test before? So, a t-test is a statistical method used to compare the means of two groups. Let's say you want to know whether two different teaching methods lead to different student performance. A t-test helps you to figure out whether the difference in average score is statistically significant or just happened by chance. So, here there are the three types of t-test. The first one is independent sample t-test, which compares two different groups like group A and group B. And then the second is the pair sample t-test, which compares the same group before and after interventions like pre-test and post-test. And the third is one sample t-test, where we compare one group's mean to fixed or known value like a national average. Alright, here I will give you an example for a t-test. Let's say we are comparing students who use an AI grammar app to those who didn't. We use an independent sample t-test and we find a p-value below 0.05, and this means the difference is statistically significant and likely not due to random chance. However, we must still ask, is this difference meaningful in real life? That's where context and deeper analysis come in. Alright, next is about what is ANOVA. What if we have more than two groups to compare? That's where ANOVA comes in. ANOVA stands for Analysis of Variance, and it helps us compare the means of three or more groups. It tells us if at least one group is significantly different from the rest. Next is the types of ANOVA. There are several kinds of ANOVA. The first one is one-way ANOVA. It's used when there's just one independent variable, like different teaching method. And the second one is two-way ANOVA, includes two different variables, like method and gender. And the third is a repeated measures ANOVA. It's used when the same group is measured multiple times, for example, across different weeks. It has has different application, but the goal is the same, comparing means accurately. And here is the ANOVA example. Imagine testing the reading comprehension of students taught through lectures, games, and videos. We use one-way ANOVA to see if there's any significant difference between the three groups. If the result is significant, we follow up with a post hoc test, like Tukey's H-ASTI, to find out which specific group differs. This helps us make smart and ethical educational decisions. Alright, next is bias. What is test bias? A test is biased if it favors one group over another, not because of actual ability, but due to external factors like culture or language. For example, the test full of Western reference may disadvantage students from rural areas. This kind of bias leads to unfair results and it reduces the test validity. So, what is DIF or differential item functioning? So it occurs when individuals from different groups who have the same overall ability have different chance of answering an item correctly. This usually means the item is unfair for one group, even if their total scores are the same. DIF helps us identify such problematic items. To assess DIF, we use statistical methods such as the mental-Hansel method, logistic regression, and item response theory or IRT. These tools help detect hidden bias in individual items so we can revise or remove them. This ensures that all students are assessed fairly based on ability, not on background. Alright, let's move to the validity. What is validity? Validity is all about accuracy. It answers the question, does this test measure what it's supposed to measure? For example, a listening test that actually tests vocabulary knowledge is not valid. Validity ensures that our results truly reflect the construct we intend to assess. So, there are three main types of validity. The first one is content validity, which checks whether the text covers all necessary topics. The second one is construct validity. It asks whether the text measures the theoretical concept we are aiming for. And the third is criterion validity. Looks at how well test score relate to an external standard, either at the same time, concurrently, or in the future. Alright, the last material is about reliability. Reliability refers to consistency. A test is reliable if it gives similar results under consistent conditions. For instance, a reliable test should give the same result if a student takes it twice in a week under the same condition. But remember, a test can be reliable without being valid, so we need both. Here, the type of reliability. We measure reliability in different ways. The first one is retest reliability, which checks stability over time. And then iterator reliability, which makes sure different scorers agree. And then internal consistency tells us if all items measure the same thing, usually through Chromebox alpha. A good reliability coefficient is 0.70 or higher.